and much more important part that is related to the data storage. Definitely, we are dealing with the data, and you know how fast the data is being generated. Now, definitely, you can see there are so many people who are interacting with that particular data. They are generating the data, and most important part is how you are going to analyze that particular data. So, for data analysis, you need to store those particular data appropriately. If you are using a single standalone machine, then definitely that might not be a possible. So what you are going to do, you are going to use a network, you are going to use a remote machines, or you are going to use a cloud. In those particular things, our data is getting distributed. So if you're having 1000 records, those particular 1000 records will be distributed across the 10 machines or 9 machines, 8 machines, depend on the size and the configurations of the machine. It's not like dividing a particular cake or etc. It is just like depends on the configuration of your machine. Means you can have a heterogeneous distribution for that particular data. Means some machine may store 150 records, some machines may able to store 60 records. The main part is your data storage, and here you are trying to distribute your data across the several machines. And once you are able to distribute the data, the main part is how you are going to retrieve the data. How you know where the record number 147 is stored, and how you are going to make the request. Definitely, we are supposed to use several kinds of client server architecture or certain kind of cloud architecture for that particular thing. So they are resolving for us. But definitely, if you want to make it for your local host, then how you are going to do this particular thing? If you are a data analyst or if you are a data administrator, how you are going to take care of that particular data? So the storage, data storage is considered as a most important part in this particular scenario. Second part, whenever you are collecting a data, it totally depends on the format of the data in which you are going to receive. Means definitely, suppose if I want to collect the data of students who are belonging to the Mumbai University. Now, if you consider the course which is your data science, there are 4 to 5 colleges in Mumbai. And definitely, if I want to collect the student data from all those particular 5 colleges, then I need to contact to that particular college, and the college is going to send their admission data to me. Each college will be having a different format of storing that particular data, but most of the fields will be same, just like a name of the student, the contact number, address, location, last year marks, its subjects, its last year stream, etc. So definitely in one college, if your column number 1 is belonging, or the column number 2 is belonging to the name of the student, in second college, a column number 2 may belong for any other thing like WhatsApp number or the mobile number. So what you need to do, you need to find out the similarities between those two particular data elements. Now, if you want to find out the similarities between those two particular data elements, you can find out according to the syntax and the semantics. A syntax means you are going to map 2 words together. Like name will be mapped with name, marks will be mapped with marks, stream will be mapped with stream, etc. And if you go for the semantic way, you have to understand the meaning of that particular word. Like a mobile number, you can map a mobile number with a WhatsApp number because they all both are having same meaning. So here you have to work with the semantic. So here you need to go with the classification or the clustering. Now I'm just sharing my screen so that I will able to present my slides to you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will
Yes.
just write two things on the notepad first. So what we are going to see, we are going to see a data storage, or actually we have seen the data storage actually. And based on that, whenever you want to store the data, we are collecting the data from 5 colleges and they are having their different formats. So what you need to do, for example, suppose you need to map your data elements with each other. So a name will be mapped with name, marks will be mapped with marks. That is a syntactical way. And if you want to go with a semantic way, you can map a contact number with a WhatsApp number. Both are having the same meaning because I want to contact to that particular person and I can use that particular number to have the contact. Okay. So this is known as a semantic. So based on that, I have to group the elements. Means, for example, suppose if I'm having 5 databases, and if I want to gather all those particular 5 databases in one single database. So definitely I have to map, I have to go through all the fields of the data sets or the database, and I have to find out the common thing between them. Now, definitely it's not like that I will get a common thing all the time. Sometimes I have to adjust somewhere. So basically, if I'm getting a common things, means if I'm able to match two things in a syntactical way, like exact the name is map, so this can be called as the classification. And second one, if I'm not able to map the things appropriately, if I'm using the approximation, now one more thing, I may use a WhatsApp number as a contact number, but sometimes a people is having a different WhatsApp number and they're having a different calling number. So if you want to call to that particular number, it may not be possible. But still, it is approximately same. Semantic is same. Semantic means meaning. The meaning of that particular word is same. So I can do a clustering. Basically, both are called as the machine learning concept, where you are having a predefined classes and you are just making a group according to that particular name. Means we know we have the classes. Suppose if you are having a bucket of fruit, or then what you can do, you should know the name of the fruit. You are having the apple, mango, and the banana. I know what is the definition of the banana. I know what is the definition of the apple, and I know what definition of the mango. So if you have to sort those particular element appropriately, I know the classes. So I know the exact group of that particular element. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I know the classes, and I know there are 3 types of fruit. So there will be 3 classes because I can divide that particular data only into 3 groups. So apple is there, mango is there, banana is there. If the apple is matching with the apple, that will go into the apple group. If the mango will match with the mango, so it will go into the mango group. And a banana will match with banana, so it will go into the banana group. But if not, then suppose if there is a fruit which looks similar like the apple, but it doesn't look like the apple, so I can put that particular element into the apple by the means of the approximation. This is the part of the clustering where you are trying to just find out a similar group over there. So why you are doing all those particular things? Because you are going to store the data. Each and every record is important, because you need to have a full form of data to do the analysis. For example, if I'm having a particular student, and if I want to know a total report of that particular student, if I want to award him a best student award, then definitely I have to see how he's behaving in a social, how he's behaving in academic. So I need to collect each and every record. Then I will process that particular record, and then I will find whether he's really belonging to that particular award or not. So here a single record is important, and you have to map those particular record appropriately so that you can find out the usefulness of that particular student. So important part is the data, and second important part is how you are going to store the data, and third important part is how you are going to analyze that particular data. So before storing, you have to complete all the things. Like if you are going to a bank, if you want to open the account, if you are filling few of the information, and if you are leaving few information as you are confused, what will happen? That particular agent or the operator will ask you to fill the entire information, or try to find out the respective information from his Aadhaar card or his PAN card, etc. Once it is done, then only he will fill that particular information appropriately and complete the data. This is very important stage where you are going to use that particular part under the data cleaning. Once your data is clean means it should be a clear, it should be having all the values appropriately, it should not be fake, and it should be complete. Then you can store the data. Now the data storage is going to be dependent on your actual size of the data and the size of your server on the machine. So it may get distributed, it may not get distributed, it may be stored at particular machine, and you can use a client server technique, you can use a cloud technique, anything can be done. So that is to be decided, and later on you are supposed to find out the analysis of that particular data, because you are storing the data to do the analysis. What kind of analysis you are going to do? You are going to find out the patterns in that particular data. Just like suppose I want to find out how much rain will come in the month of the August. So what I need to do, I need to collect all the records in that particular month, and then I will try to find out the respective pattern. Then I will try to collect all the data which is related to the month. Again, I will try to find out the pattern. And based on that, I will predict the rain percentage in the month of for the month of the August. This particular thing is called as the prediction. So basically, you are analyzing the data to find out the pattern, as well as you want to find out a future data. Now, definitely it is a future data. So it will be working on the basis of the assumptions or the approximations. I will not use word assumption. I will use word approximation. So it will be the use of the misuse of the patterns to find out the respective approximation of that particular data. So this is the use of the analysis. It's not like it is limited to only two use, like pattern, finding the patterns and the predictions. There are multiple use for that particular thing. Like most of the time, whenever if you want to know the pattern of crime, you have to just read or you need to just assess the previous cases. Based on that, you're going to find out the pattern. Even if means for example, even the lawyers are also going to find out the patterns of that particular case, and later on they will find out how to fight this particular case to get a maximum success. So it is possible if you are storing that particular data appropriately and you are retrieving the data of that again appropriately. And one more thing, if you are able to do the analysis. So all these three particular parts is done in the Spark technology. So I repeat, we are going to process the data, pre-process the data. I will use a pre-process. Then we will store the data, we will analyze the data, and we will do certain kinds of predictions for that particular data. So we will start with our slide. So the topic name is Spark Technologies. Basically, it is the name of the tool. And we are going to do all those particular things in this particular tool only. Now, before moving to the Spark, we need to understand the concept of the MapReduce programming. And definitely that is included in Unit 1. So if you are not belonging to the computer science background, you need not to worry for that. That particular part will be taken into the classroom. So first thing, map and reduce, the name itself suggests you have to map to things and then you have to reduce them into a particular class. So suppose if I want to make, if I'm having a bucket of fruits, I'm having three types of fruits, apple, mango, and banana. I will pick one fruit. I will try to map that particular fruit with apple. Then I will try to map that particular fruit with mango, and then it will be mapped with banana. If it is matching with apple, then it will be reduced to apple. If it is matching to mango, then it will be reduced to mango. And if it is matching with a banana, then it will be reduced to respective fruit. That is a banana. So based on that, I will be storing the data, and later on I'm leaving that particular thing to the Spark so that it will distribute and it will make the use of that particular data later on whenever I require. So basically, these particular practicals are divided into two parts. I'm directly shifting to the practicals because this is totally practical oriented subject. We need to learn the theory to clear the basic concepts. But most of the things will be taken as a part of the practical. Because first thing, you need to understand a Python language. Second, you need to understand the Scala language. Third, you need to understand how to use a Google Colab or any Jupyter. Basically, I prefer a Google Colab because it gives a PySpark. It gives a good support to the PySpark. Sometimes working with the offline is also possible in this particular part. But if you are using a Colab, it will just shift some of your burden. So basically, we are using the Google Colab for running these particular practicals. The Scala, basic techniques for the Pythons, and whatever the installations and the collab commands will be taken into the classroom. It's not like that you are supposed to learn Python from somewhere. I'm not going to teach the entire code of entire Python to you. Means you need to understand the basics. I'm going to tell you how to write the functions, how the functions are written, how the variables are declared, how to write a particular statement, how to call a function. So whatever is required, that I'm going to teach. But I'm not able to teach entire Python because a Python is having a big scope. So whatever is required things, that I will take into the classroom. The rest of the things I think not required, but I think most of the things will be covered in the paper one, because in the essential technologies in data science, you are supposed to complete your practicals in Python. So you are going to learn Python, by the way. So we will not go into that, but definitely whatever the basic techniques we require, that will be taken into the classroom, and just we can use those particular things over there. So before going to that particular subject, we need to understand the course outcome. So we are able to do all those particular things. So first we need to understand the concept of the Spark technologies and its implementation. Then understand the concept of the RDD, that is a resilient distributed data set. We need to understand the meaning, its syntax. Then a query means either you want to represent you now. This is a data analysis part. So whatever the data that you want to store, you are going to store that particular data, but the analytical part will be done in the form of SQL, graphical format, little bit kind of here you are supposed to find out the optimizations and all those particular things. So the performance tuning will be taken into the consideration. We will see the internal structures of the RDD, that how it is being processed, and how the load is taken by the CPU. So basically, that is taken in the practical number one, where you are going to see the web UI for this particular practical, and based on that, you will learn how these particular things are done. Graphics library for the network analysis problem, and again Spark SQL, which allows you to learn the structured data. So one more thing, here the first thing in the case of the pre-processing, whenever you are going for the practicals, in the case of pre-processing, you have to convert your unstructured data to the structured format. So here basically we are using the concept of the big data. And a big data, if you consider a big data which is considered as unstructured data, so most of the time you have to convert that particular data into the structured format, and once it is done, then you can make use of that particular thing. So the introduction to the Apache Spark, which is used for the data processing the technique or the tool, uh, which includes a real-time processing, or it is also used for processing the offline data. For real-time processing, we have to use the Spark streaming, where you can read the live tweets and perform the sentiment analysis on them, so that you can find out whether the tweets are being positive or the negative. Based on that, several decisions will be taken. Means a particular user is going to take the decision. What is your job? You have to just show or display the respective statistics for that particular data, and that's been enough in this particular case. Second, just for the introduction, resilient distributed data set, it is nothing but the basic abstraction in this part. So it represents just like the immutable partition data that can be operated in a parallel, so that whatever you are having 1000 samples, that will be divided into party that will be partitioned, and you can just make the use of those particular partitions simultaneously, and that can be used for the data analysis or for any other thing if required. So these are the functions like mapping, filtering, persist, that we'll be using either on basically we will be using those particular things on the console also, as well as with on Google Colab by using the PySpark. So these are two definitions, and your entire syllabus is going to move around these two particular definitions, that working with the RDD and working with the Apache Spark, etc. This is the syllabus. You can see basically first we will see the components of the Spark. Like we know, first we need to, whenever we are learning a Java, we need to understand the JVM. We need to understand the unified stack of that particular technology. I'm not going to call it as a programming language. It is a technology, because it also gives you support of means you have to take the support from the hardware also. So it's just unified stack, the features of the stack, what is the web UI, introduction to the RDD, launching and using the Spark, Scala, and the Python shell, Spark context, ecosystems, and then working with the RDD like create, load, save, transformations, actions. Now, a transformation and actions are exactly related to the map and reduce. So the transformation, you are going to compare the things, and based on that, the respective actions will be taken. A key value pair means, for example, if you say the apple itself is having certain kind of characteristics. So those particular characteristics will be called as a value. So whatever the characteristics is there, the name of the characteristics will stand as a key, whereas the actual value will be called as a value. So this is one of the thing. Map reduce, little bit introduction of the map reduce, and the pair RDD operations, like working with the multiple RDD operations that will be done. In Unit 2, the actual implementations of the Spark technology, that is creating the Spark context, building a Spark application, Spark and Hadoop integration, use of XDFS, persistent overview, distributed persistence, Spark streaming, how the Spark is integrated with the machine learning, how you can use a Spark for the statistics, how you can use a structured query language, how you can write a structured query language in a Spark for the data analysis, the graphics, and the performance tuning. So that will be taken into the Unit 2. As this is 2 credit course, so you'll be having only, as you are having 2 credit theory course, so you'll be having only 2 units. For a 4 credit theory course, you'll be having 4 units, but as it is only 2 credit course, so you'll be having only 2 units, and basically the examination will be for 25 marks. So you can see the 25 marks for the internal as well as 25 marks for the external. That we will see into the last slide. These are the practicals. So you can see the first practical is related to the installation of the Apache Spark. Second, after installation, you need to learn the basics and several RDD commands, how to use the RDD and how you are going to see the visualization of those particular part. Third one is filtering RDD, like a practical, the first practical that will be performed on the Colab using the Python. Like you're having a different kinds of location, and based on the location, you're going to find out a location which will be having a minimum and maximum temperature. Then you are provided with a text, and using the flat map, you are going to count the number of words. It's not like the count; it is going to sort. Means, for example, for here, let us have one example like. This is a car and car is good, so this is occurred for the one time, is occurred for 2 times, the car has occurred for 2 times. So basically the actual classification is done in this particular part. So this particular the flat map, the use of the flat map is going to do the thing, because it is going to do the mapping, and based on the mapping it is going to display the respective results. Then the working with the Spark SQL, like working with the executing the different kinds of the SQL command. Next, it is related to the Hadoop, working with the HDFS, like total time spent by the customers with the data frames, display the favorite movie using the broadcast variable. Then similar movies, find out the similar movies from a particular movie databases, like it will be based on the genre, it will be based on the story, etc., or it will be based on the ratings. Means whatever the particular base that you are going to select, based on that groups will be created. Next is implementation with a machine learning, like a movie recommendation. So based on that, first my data will be collected, that what kind of movies that I have seen, and based on that, the few movies will be suggested to me. So this can happen over there. And then a Spark streaming, where we are going to interact with our tweets, and we are going to retrieve the tweets and find out the sentiment analysis. So basically, as a curriculum, you are supposed to connect your 8 practicals out of 10 practicals, but as a educational part, we will complete all 10 practicals duly. I will try to have those particular practicals, at least some of the practicals in offline manner if time permits, because you all are working and the entire course is taken into the online format. So let us see once we get completed, and if you feel that we should have one kind of hands-on, So we can have this particular part. This is related to the examination. So you are having two types of examination. One is internal evaluation and the second one is the external evaluation. So the internal evaluation is 25 and the external evaluation is for 25. So total midterm, one midterm class test will be taken for the 15 marks and one case study for the 10 marks, or one examination will be taken that will be for the 25 marks. So it is the decision of the department that how they are going to conduct the test. Basically, the department is going to take the entire online based test or offline based test. It depends on the availability and the condition. So last 2 years the department is taking offline tests. So possibly this year also will be you have to face the offline test. The examination is definitely offline. The external examination that is for the 25 marks. The duration is 1 hour and the theory question pattern is given. So there are three questions. The first two questions are going to carry 10 marks and the last question is going to carry 5 marks. So the question number 1 is based on unit 1. So there will be 4 questions and out of 4 questions you are supposed to attempt 2 questions. In unit 2 again, in question number 2, it's totally based on the unit 2 and there will be 4 questions. Out of 4 you are supposed to attempt 2 questions, and in question number 3 there will be 2 questions. The first will be based on unit 1 and the second will be based on unit 2. So you are supposed to attempt 1 question and each question is going to carry 5 marks. So total you are supposed to appear for the 25 marks. The practical examination is there for 50 marks. We don't have any kind of internal for the practicals as of now, so that there will be 1 questions or 2 questions. If there are 1 questions, it will carry 40 marks. If there are 2 questions, each will carry 20 marks. So 40 marks for actual problem solving. 5 marks are reserved for your journal, and the 5 marks are reserved for your viva. So basically, total, if you say about the practical, it is 50 marks examination, and you are supposed to appear it for the offline mode. So a timetable will be displayed on the university website, and you are supposed to appear to the respective your center, and then you can give your respective examination over there. So this particular part, like practical examination, will be for the 50 marks, 40 marks for the solving problem, 5 marks for the journal, and the 5 marks for the viva. So this is all related to the syllabus. There were a few questions like if you want to know any about the prerequisite, definitely we need to have we need to have the Python programming. But if not, if you're not belonging to the computer science background, then definitely whatever the required part that will be taken during the practicals. We will learn the Scala programming language because that is included into the syllabus. So we will learn the Scala from the scratch. So only Python, the use of Colab, you should know how to use the Colab. If you know, then you can use a Python editor also. You can use a Jupyter also. But basically, using Colab is quite helpful because you need not to do any kind of setting over there. Just you need to get connected with the internet. Um, okay, fine. I think that is enough for the introductory lecture. If you are having any kind of the queries or the doubt, you can ask. I'm just stopping my screen sharing. Because I don't want to just have much more burden in the introductory lecture. If one more thing that I will show you, the practicals. So you can see this is your practical number 3. You can see almost you are supposed to write a 20 lines, around 20 lines code for each practical. So you can see this is the installation part. This is the Colab interface. This is the import part. This is a creating a Spark context, and this is your actual code. These two set of lines are going to tell you the actual code where you are able to find out a minimal and maximal temperature. That is your actual practical number 3. So basically, you are supposed to write a 20 lines code for this particular practical. So the practicals are quite easy, but you need to understand the basics over there. Now, in this particular practical, I will tell you how to write the functions in the Python because that is required, and how to assign the variables, how to create the Spark context. As of now, I cannot tell you because first thing I need to make you understand that what is the meaning of the context, and that is the first part of your Spark unit 1. That is learning with that particular Means the first topic it is itself is related to the context, like the unified library and the unified resources. All those particular part will be covered over there. So I will not go into the detail, but this is related to the Spark context. You can see almost a 20-line code is over there, and for printing you have to write two more lines. That is, if you want to print entire the data. So the practicals are quite simple. The theory is also quite simple, but you may feel tricky if you are not following the appropriate syntax. You need to understand the few things that will be taken into the classroom. If you are missing the lectures or if you are not coming regularly for the practicals, then that will be difficult. So it's not like that you may able to learn on your own, because there are few techniques, few settings that we need to do, and that will be taken into the classroom sessions only. So that is done from my side. So if you are having any kind of the queries, you can ask. Yes, there are few reference books that are given into our syllabus, so you can also I will be sharing my PPTs during the lecture, and also I'm sharing a few notes that I have just collected. Definitely, I have collected those two particular things from the internet only, so I will be sharing those particular things to you. Just now the Mumbai University site is down, so I'm not able to see that particular syllabus. So you can just go to that particular Spark Technologies. There are two textbooks are there, and three references are there. So you can take it. But basically, a Spark Technology is always updating. So if you refer other internet resources, that will be more useful. Yes, entire theory paper and entire practical paper will be based on the syllabus. The variations will be there, but just like the change in the variables, it is not like going to be a different thing. The Scala itself is a software. Itself is a small software, a binary file which we are installing and we will be using.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
If Answer will you help us just with the number of softwares or applications we are going to use? As said, the first software will be Apache Spark, and second will be Google Colab, which we are going to use for this. And the
Yes.
languages will be Python and a bit knowledge of SQL, right?
Yes, Scala. Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Sir, will there
Jobs.
be any notes provided?
Yes, yes. I'm going to provide the slides as well as notes also.
Okay, so
Sir,
the
how would be our
theory
external
questions would be
paper?
coming.
Basically, theory questions will be entirely based on the syllabus, and we are going to cover each and every point. So definitely, the paper is also going to be from that particular syllabus only. Just a twisting will be there. Twisting means it's not like a big twisting, like where you are supposed to do some kind of work over there. Like you're having only 1 hour, and that particular thing will be considered during the examination. So I don't think there will be a lot of twisting and tweaking in that particular paper. Just complete the entire syllabus. That is enough for them. A job scope of Spark Technology depends. Now, definitely, these particular techniques are used in industry is always 2 or 3 years ahead of this particular syllabus. Yeah, I will try to record the lectures if possible, and I will be sharing those particular things.
Sir, any kind of question bank would be provided?
That I need to ask with the department, because I have to follow all the instructions from the department only. So I will ask with the department, and if the department is saying okay, then I will be sharing. No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So
Sir,
any
the
other
external
queries?
part of the paper, so the external part of the paper for this language will be more focusing on theory or something which is related to like write this code or this all, because we are having practicals also where we will be performing practicals.
Yes, I didn't get your query.
Sir, I am asking that the external exam for this subject, how it will
Uh,
be? The questions will be more theoretical, or it will be again in
for
conceptual
theory, it will be
language for
theoretical.
coding?
For theory, it will be
Okay,
totally
it will be
theoretical.
theoretical.
You are not supposed to write any program over there.
Okay,
And for the practical, it will be totally practical based. No,
okay,
and no
okay,
syllabus is enough to cover the entire job profile. You have to find, because you have to see the updates. So every time means this particular syllabus is designed 1 year ago, and this particular
okay.
thing as per the university rule. This is continued. So definitely there are few changes. Even if I design that this particular syllabus for this year till the time of the exam, you are going to see the changes. So definitely you have to see, you have to means we are supposed to complete the 10 programs, and definitely 10 programs are not enough for any job profile. So you have to just see the additions. You have to do certain kind of hard work that is related to all means that is related to all subjects actually.
Got it. Thank you.
No, not at all. But you need to work with the structure of the programming languages. Learning programming languages will be is quite easy, but for that you need to put the efforts. Like means if you are looking at the screen and then means whatever I'm doing, if you're looking at the screen later on, you need to just do that particular part at your desk also. That is okay. That means if you're doing this, then it will not be difficult. Second, doubt clearing will be definitely in between the lectures. After completing the lectures, I will have a 5 minutes for the query solving session. Okay, any other queries?
No, sir.
Okay, I will be sharing the list of books on our group, so that, and also I will share a few PDF. Yes, first upon we will try to complete the syllabus, theory syllabus, and we will try to complete all the practicals in online mode. And before the examination, if we require, then we may come for the offline sessions. Fine. If you don't have any kind of queries, let's end this particular meeting. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.